Hi, everybody. This is the Voncast show. I'm just going to get into it. Don't feel like doing the intros. Maybe I'll do them later. We have a guest with us. She does poetry and she sings. And what else do you do?
I do a lot of things. I do as much as I can to get out there, you know?
That's awesome. It's Jaemz. This is Jaemz.
Yeah.
We go by that, or do you prefer your
Jaemz
name?
is my stage name. I keep forgetting to use it when I go to open mics and stuff,
Yeah.
but let's use that.
Okay. So we're with Jaemz. How's your summer?
It's going good. I actually thought I would have more time to work on music, but with my full-time internship, I have no time. But I'm gonna try to work on it more when school starts because it's kind of weird that I'm actually probably gonna be more free during school.
Yeah, I found that interesting because it's summertime. We should be more free to do whatever. But I guess if you have a full-time internship.
Yep, Monday through Friday.
Where do you intern at?
I intern at Tiochicha Centro Cultural. It's a cultural center, and we do a lot of things. It's a nonprofit. They basically promote arts and culture, especially with the Chicanx community, but they are open to all ethnicities and stuff like that. And they do open mics. They're also a bookstore, so hey, promoting the bookstore, because I'm the development intern, so I work on the social media and stuff like that.
What does a developmental intern do?
So I work on the social media, and then also we're having a second annual gala in October, so I've just been contacting like donors, and I've been contacting, we're doing the invitations right now, so a lot of stuff.
Very cool. And you work there Monday through Friday?
Yes.
How is it? I mean, what's your day-to-day schedule? Just go in there and...
So I usually go in around like 9:30, 11:30, and then I stay there for 8 hours. And I'm usually in front of a computer screen the entire time. I'm working on spreadsheets. I've gotten a lot better at Excel. And then I'm calling people. I called bookstores the other day. And yeah, it's a really chill place, not even just because I'm an intern, but because I've met the people who work there. It kind of feels like a second family, even though it's like a 20-minute drive. But it's fun.
Okay, cool. It's in Silmar?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And you also interned here on campus at the Women's Resource Center?
Yes, I interned at the Women's Resource Center. I was a communications intern, so I worked on their social media and their posters and stuff. And I love them. They're also a second family to me, and I'm probably going to be there a lot this semester.
Awesome. I won't be there as much as the Happy House, but that's cool. Awesome. So I know you because I met you in Professor Alan Aquino's, was it writing class? I forget the exact thing, but it was literature.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Alan's going to hate us.
Sorry.
I don't remember the class.
Usually Professor Hattori teaches it, but he was on sabbatical. But it was a writing class.
I think it was like 231.
I think it was at 300. I don't know.
321?
I think
Does
so.
that sound better? Yeah.
321. So I met Jaemz there. She was in the class, obviously, and she did poetry and sang. Can you tell us, like, what came first for you, poetry or singing?
Oh, singing definitely. Like, there's I always joke that there's a video of me when I was like 2. Actually, it wasn't even a video. It was like a cassette tape.
Okay.
It was old. And it's my sister introducing me, and I'm singing very badly, Crazy. And then my dad always says that what is it called? The fireplace at our house was my stage. So I've been singing since I've known what singing meant.
Wow. Cool. So you've been singing for that long. When did you start taking it seriously, or have you always taken it seriously?
When I was younger, I took it very seriously because I had a huge ego and no one could curb stomp it.
Yeah.
But of course, with middle school, the worst time of our lives, and puberty, I got a lot of self-esteem issues, and I was like, I can't do this. People have worked on it harder than I have.
Yeah.
And it was actually because of that class where we met and a bunch of other people who told me, like, hey, you have a shot at this, and I started to take it more seriously. So thank you, and thank you everybody from that class.
I didn't realize there was so much, that class is so impactful, but I do agree that Alan's classes tend to bring a lot of the creative people in the department together.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, without his classes, we wouldn't have all the open mics. I don't think we would have networked with everybody else, and it wasn't just for people who were quote unquote creative. It was for other people who may not have been who didn't realize it was creative. Like Ritter, I think he opened up more when he did that thing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I forgot what he did, but I just think I think when you creatively express yourself in front of people, you tend to open up with the audience more, to your friends and whatnot. So, and then poetry, when did you get into that?
Poetry actually happened a lot later. I mean, I've always, actually, let me rephrase that. I haven't always liked poetry, just because I always thought it had to rhyme, and so I hated it. I was like, this is annoying. And because I'm an English major, and I didn't really actually like English in high school, which is a surprise that now I'm an English major. But I would hate cutting apart poems. I was like, can't we just read it and like it and feel it? But it was like, no, this is a metaphor. This is the literary device. And so I didn't really like it. I stayed away from it.
Right.
But I want to say it was my sophomore year here, I couldn't sleep. My anxiety was up and stuff like that. And for some reason, I kept on having like imagery about my grandmother. And so I think I was taking a poetry class or a creative writing class. So I like got up, it was like 1 a.m. and I wrote a poem about my grandma. And it was like something about her dying. A couple months later, she died. And so, yeah, weird stuff. And ever since then, whenever I'm like in a tough situation and I have a lot of things that I want to say, but I don't know how to say it, I just pick up a pen, pick up a piece of paper, and it usually turns out into some sort of spoken word poetry. So it's been kind of like my outlet.
Yeah, I that's cool. That's awesome that you have a healthy outlet. It's not very self-destructive. That's great. That's cool. So have you been doing open mics and going to shows?
Yeah, I recently did an open mic in Pasadena, and I did a spoken word piece, and then I did a cover. You saw it. It was on Facebook. And so I'm constantly looking for more open mics. And then shout out to Alan again. We're probably going to do another open mic series on campus. So everyone should go.
When is that?
I don't know yet. It'll probably be at the end of the semester. But literally, the first day of school, I'm gonna go to your office, Alan. We're gonna talk about it.
Cool. Awesome. That'd be awesome because we had an open mic for the Asian American Studies department. Towards the end of the semester, and it went very well. Yeah,
it did. It went great, and that's actually where the upcoming semester open mic came from, because I told you he approached me through message and told me that the Asian American department wanted another one. So here I am, trying to make another one.
Awesome, cool. Well, if you need to do it, I have the Amatsu House card here.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. Freshman streak. I would never do that without your permission. But so when you're up on stage, I mean, how do you feel? I'm pretty sure you're like, it's anxiety, you know?
Oh, totally.
It's nervousness. Can you talk us through how you get through stage fright?
Well, one thing that I've been told that I really, really like is that if you weren't, the phrase is, if you're not nervous, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, and singing matters a lot to me. It's been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. So if I went on stage and I wasn't getting that thrill, whether it's bad or good thrill, and getting nervous, then it wouldn't matter. There wouldn't be a reason why I should be on stage. So I kind of, even though it like kind of eats at me right before I go on stage, I kind of just go through a lot of mantras, like fake it till you make it. You get on there and like, as long as you're confident and you seem confident, that's gonna shine through to the audience. So I guess I hide it.
Yeah.
Or use it to my advantage.
It's tough. I don't know. I usually have to. I feel bad because when I'm in open mics or performances, a lot of times I can't fully enjoy everyone else's performance before me because I'm always rehearsing, memorizing. Because a big fear of mine, which has happened before, is I forget. I just blank out.
I agree. I feel the same way. I can't really enjoy anybody's because, one, I'm trying to like contain my anxiety. I'm like, okay, just you know your part, you've been practicing it, but then I'm also practicing it in my head, and I can't really, I'm like, okay, there's 2 more people until I'm up, there's 1 more person until I'm up, and then once I get up and do my performance, and then I can sit down, I'm just like, I can relax now, so I totally get that. I don't know, I feel like that's always going to be a part of my life.
Yeah.
It's always gonna happen.
And you know, I went to my first Sunday jump recently last week.
I saw.
Yeah, you went as well, right?
I went
a while back.
like in May.
It was May.
April.
Late May.
Yeah.
How was it there?
I loved it. It was really, that's actually where I met Janelle. Shout out to Janelle, the open mic that I went to recently. She invited me to that, so I made a
cool.
connect through that. I think I made friends with like 3, 4, 5 people there, and I'm still in contact with them.
Me too. I think after the show, I added a bunch of people on Instagram. There was this one dude who raps really good. His name is Christian.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I met Janelle.
Love
I'm so
Janelle.
bad with
Love
names.
you, Janelle.
I'm so bad with names, but I met a bunch of great people, and it's a really fun environment to be in. It fosters like community and everything.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of like with the class, and how it helped me realize that I can be a singer. If you surround yourself with people who have this same sort of dream or same sort of goals, you kind of feel empowered. So I really like Sunday Jump and open mics like that, because you have performers who are trying to make it in their own way. That doesn't mean they're trying to become #1 hit or something, but they're trying to become an artist and a successful artist.
Okay. So with your singing, do you write original songs or just do covers?
I do both.
Okay.
The original music has been a struggle, but I've been working through it. I think it goes back to my whole struggle with poetry, where it's like with a lot of popular songs, they rhyme.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying. But I mean, I like the rhyming when they do it, but when I write it, I'm like, this is so cheesy. But I've been exploring and looking at other artists that I really like who don't rhyme, and it's very, you don't notice it. You're like, oh, they actually don't rhyme in this entire song, but it flows really well. So I'm just trying to, one of the things that I'm doing now is that I'm writing spoken word and then making it a song. Because I feel like if I think of a song, I'm gonna struggle with the rhyme thing. But if I just write, as cheesy as it sounds, if I just write from my heart and put it on the page, it's a much better song at the end.
Interesting. I feel the other way around regarding poetry, because I feel the same way, because I feel it has to rhyme. And I end up rhyming, and it's like I didn't have to do all that work, and sometimes when it doesn't rhyme, you can say more.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Because as fun as rhyming is, you're kind of restricted to what the last word rhymes with.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It limits what you are trying to say, because I feel like I don't want to rhyme just to rhyme. I want to write something that matters. And if I'm limited to so many words that rhyme with this particular word, I feel like that I'm limited in expressing myself.
Right. I
That
agree.
sounded very artist-like.
No, that makes total sense. So with spoken word, what do you usually write about?
I usually write about, I guess, my past.
Okay.
Or things that are frustrating me at the time. The spoken word piece that I did at the most recent open mic that I went to was about one of my best friends. Her name's Jo. Hi, Jo, if you watch this. She's one of my best friends, and we met fairly recently in the past year and a half, and we, in a cheesy way, kind of say that we sort of have kind of like the same heart. We're very passionate about what we do. We're very sensitive to the world and things like that. And so we're constantly battling with, self-esteem, what society tells us what we should look like and what we should do. And I've been showing her my spoken word, and she was like, can you write something about self-esteem? And can you write something about basically everything that we've talked about? And I felt super inspired. So I basically wrote a letter to not only her, but myself. And it's called To J, because both of our names start with J. And it's kind of like a dual letter to her, to not let anyone push her down, but also for me to take the words that I actually say. Because I feel like it's very easy to give advice, but not take the advice that you're giving.
Yes, I agree. So that segues into the next part. I mean, being an artist, I guess, can you describe to us what being a poet or a singer is from a female perspective? Because I'm obviously lacking that, because I'm a male.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
I think the audience should know.
I think it's kind of weird, because I guess when you're younger, and I'm stereotyping, I'm sorry, but I will get to the point, I swear.
Okay.
Stereotypically, when you're younger, poetry and sort of like dainty stuff seem very feminine.
Right.
And music and whatever like that. And then when you get older, you see that every sort of facet that you want to get into has the patriarchal system, even though it's been called feminine the entire time. So when I started writing poetry, when I started singing, I've actually met a few, that I will not say, males who kind of like made me feel less than, just because it's like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about because we've been in this for a very long time, blah, blah, blah. But there's only one way to get to the point where they are, is to break through. And so if I don't start, then I'm never gonna make it.
Right.
So there's been a lot of, like, I think it's just wherever you go, there's gonna be people who put that negativity on you. It's like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about, and constantly try to push you down. But I always try to remember that's a reflection of them and not me.
Right. For some of the listeners who don't know what the patriarchal system is, can you please explain? If you
Oh God,
can?
that's a whole can of worms.
That's fine.
Let's see.
I mean, I guess like the basic.
I guess in so many words, basically, I guess the patriarchal system, in the way that I can explain it, is that many sort of facets and genres and in this case, job outlets are very male-driven, and many of the people who are in charge are male. So that creates sort of a divide with the women who are trying to make it, because if they're all men, they're going to decide for men. They don't really have a female perspective.
Right. And I totally agree that with what you're saying, and I'm not with the whole patriarchal system. You know me, I'm not really with
Fight
it.
the power, yeah.
Fight the power. If you don't agree with it, fuck you. Honestly, fuck you. Get the fuck out. But, it's tough. I can't even imagine. Like, we were playing that game, Disturb Friends.
That's a bad game. Don't buy it unless you are not weak of heart.
I won. But there was that one thing where it was funny, but at the same time it was disturbing but true. There was that one question about the glass ceiling.
Oh, the glass ceiling.
It's like,
yes.
what was it if... something about like what happens when you get to the glass ceiling?
No, it was, so the card... The card was, what is the worst thing about being a female? And A was like having your period, B, I don't remember, and then C, I'm sorry for the vulgarity, C was when you hit the glass ceiling, you hit your knees, which is basically like to break the glass ceiling of getting promoted or getting higher in your job is to do sexual favors.
Yeah, that's very disturbing. I don't even know where to begin with that. That's really messed up, but...
And I mean, you even see it in television shows.
Yeah.
So it's both in reality and so-called fantasy.
So you do agree there's that, I don't know. Yeah, it just disturbs me that I guess when I'm more aware of it, now I'm more aware of it, it upsets me that stuff like that does happen. And you're right. I mean, it seems as if in the music industry, it's a lot of times it's more geared, I don't know if it's more geared towards males. I mean, I don't know about geared towards males, but the people making decisions, I guess many tend to be male.
I would say that women and men are treated very differently.
Right. Can you?
Well, without getting myself in trouble, because I don't want to get too personal, I think that when a man is confident and speaks his mind and is straightforward, he's seen as a leader.
Yes.
And then when a woman does the exact same thing, she's seen as a bitch or bossy.
Yes.
And it's like, well, why are you telling us what to do?
I agree. Yeah, that's it's also very disturbing. Have you noticed? I guess with all this, have you like, I don't know, experienced this kind of thing where you're like? Have you experienced this before?
Oh yeah, totally.
Can you give us some examples without naming names possibly?
Oh God,
if
you're
okay
gonna
with
get
that?
me in trouble.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, I totally understand, but I guess maybe you saying these things, maybe people here listening to this may be like, oh, that happened to me too, and can relate.
Well, okay. I mean, I don't talk to this person anymore, so I guess it's fine. And if you hear it, well, oops. So recently I was working with someone, and that's as far as I'm gonna go, because if I say any specifics, you're gonna know who it was. And so things were changed without me knowing, which is fine, but you know, I would like to know, because we were working together. And so I had messaged this individual and said, you know, I would have liked to know this. Next time, can you let me know? Because previously in our conversation, I tried to get the answer, but I got a very vague answer. So next time I would like to know. This person blew up on me and basically said, like, I don't know who you've worked with in the past, but that's not me. You need to step off. And so I was like, do I want to work with this person? And so I was kind of dealing with, which I feel like a lot of people deal with when they're trying to become an artist, is like, do I just sit back and take it because this opportunity and this individual could push me farther? Or do I stand up for, hey, this isn't right, and potentially lose this opportunity and have to start back from square one, which is something that I dealt with when this was happening. I was like, this is a really, really, really good opportunity. I don't want to lose this. But I kind of thought about it. I talked to a lot of people. I talked to my sisters. Thanks, Susie and Kimmy. And I was like, I don't want my success to be built on a foundation like that, where I'm being pushed down. And this was like my first fairly big opportunity. So I was like, I don't want the first time to me being pushed aside. And so I actually talked to someone who knew them personally and was like, they do this with women.
Oh, wow.
And so that was super eye-opening. I was like, oh, okay. If I had not heard that, I would have still been struggling, because now that I know that it's a normal thing with women, this is not something I want to encourage. This is not something I want to support. So, and this could kind of be seen as the cowardly way out, but I messaged this individual and I said, you know what? I could give you a second chance, but I don't want to. We're gonna break ties. I wish you the best. That's it. And then I blocked them, because not because I was like, oh, I'm scared to hear what they have to say. I just felt like it wouldn't be productive for me to hear an answer, because I already have anxiety. It's like, I said what I needed to say, and if we're not gonna work together, I don't need an answer. I just needed you to know what I had to say, and then be done with it. So I am back to square one, which is, I feel more confident in myself that I could do that.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I wonder too if if you were a male, would he have done the same
the person
treatment?
that I had spoken to who knew them personally said males act like that all the time with him. He's fine. So I didn't want to be around that anymore.
Right. Negative vibes, you don't want to be around that. So you mentioned you have anxiety. I think a lot of people have it in different degrees. How do you deal with that? How do you manage?
Well, for a long, long time, I denied it. Because I'm an extrovert. I love talking. Like, I've been talking this entire time. It's so fun. And so it was kind of like, it was like two things pushing against each other. I was like, how can I be an extrovert and have anxiety? This isn't fair, because I want to talk to people, but I'm scared to talk to people. So I would deny it a lot. I was like, I don't have it. And it would put me in a lot of bad situations where I would have panic attacks and where I would kind of like be self-destructive. And so when I finally kind of accepted it, I was just like, I have anxiety and that's just kind of who I am. But it's complicated, because I read this article recently where it was like, the headline of the article was, I don't want to ever say that my mental illness doesn't define me, which I thought was interesting. And so I read more of it, and it was basically like, when people are like, oh, you're not your anxiety, you're you. It's like, well, yeah, but I am my anxiety, because if it wasn't for my anxiety, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. With all the hardships that I wouldn't dare want anyone else to go through, if I hadn't gone through them, I wouldn't be who I am today. So I kind of I claim it, but in a positive way. It's like, I have anxiety and I have mild depression, and that's just something that I deal with, and it's made me more confident as a person. So that's kind of how I deal with it.
Very, very enlightening. That's a cool way to look at it. I think I have it too. I try to use that anxiety for like positivity. I don't know, because sometimes I worry that, oh man, I'm gonna mess up my lines and I got anxiety. Right. But it's like, wait, let me just practice. So I guess I use my anxiety, my second doubt, as a way for me to practice more. Because what I realized, I didn't practice my music as much because I do mainly freestyling. And a result of that was I kept forgetting my lines. And then there were times when I didn't want to perform because I was scared that I would forget my content. So now I still have that same fear, but I use that fear as a way to motivate me. Hey, you got to practice. You got to put like 10, 15, 20 minutes a day into your music. Mm-hmm. So when I go on stage, I'm not as anxious. If that makes sense.
Yeah. My anxiety does the exact same thing. So when I'm driving, I turn off the radio and I just sing my thing over and over and over and over again. And then I critique it, not in a negative way. I don't overanalyze, but I do a lot of that stuff. And another thing that I do to combat my anxiety is I think about, I don't really want to be a role model because I don't want people to like scrutinize every little thing that I do. But I also for example, my little sister. I always think about my little sister when I'm going through a tough time. And it's like, well, I want to do something that she would be proud of and look up to. So when I have anxiety, I'm like, there are other people in this audience or wherever I am with anxiety. And so if I can say, hey, I have anxiety, but I can still perform and do all of these things, that'll give other people hope that they can do what they want to do. So I have that in the back of my mind.
That's really cool, because a lot of us do have anxiety, and it can cripple our daily lives, whether I don't know, just like we said, just a lot of second doubting, or people like myself would, I don't know, drink or do other things just to combat that noise in our heads. And I think it's good that we can talk about it, and I don't know, it can help out other people. Yeah,
I think talking about it is the best therapy. And what was I gonna say? I had it in my head.
Do you meditate?
I tried it. I just get sleepy. It's something that doesn't really work for me. I mean, it calms me down, but then I'm like, I don't want to do anything for the rest of the day.
You drink coffee?
No, I don't. It gives me the jitters.
Me too.
I can't. I have to drink tea.
Me too.
I've tried it every once in a while when I'm dead tired. I'm like, okay, coffee might work, and it's always a mistake.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes I'm tired and usually have to study, and I say, oh, I'll try an energy drink.
Always a mistake.
Yeah.
Always a mistake.
It turns out being counterproductive because my heart is fluttering.
Right,
I feel flush in the face, and I can't concentrate on my work.
Or it's like a new drink that came out in Starbucks and it sounds really good, and then I get it and I'm like, this was a mistake. Yeah. I can't focus on anything. Oh, and I remember what I was gonna say. It was about anxiety. It's so great being an extrovert because sometimes I can beat my anxiety, and that goes on with the mantra of like fake it till you make it. So if I know I'm gonna have anxiety, like say, oh, you need to talk to that person. Okay, I'm gonna talk to them right now. I'm like gonna beat my anxiety to the punch and just talk to them. Because if I wait and I think about it, my heart will start racing.
See, when I met you, I thought you'd be one of the last people to have anxiety because you're so friendly and outgoing.
It's because I do it immediately.
That's awesome. I need to sum up the courage to do that sometime.
I think it's a mix of I do it immediately, and then I always think, oh, well, they might be nervous to talk to me. So, and I have this really, really weird thing about me where if I don't know you at all, or if I know you really well, I'm so comfortable with you. I can be fine. But if I know you a little bit, like if we're acquaintances and we've had class together once and I see you, I'm like, nope, don't want to talk to you. I've missed my chance.
Interesting. Wow. So that's good. We talked about anxiety and I guess some depression and ways to combat it or deal with it. Do you have any advice for up-and-coming women who want to pursue singing or poetry or anything?
Yes. Surround yourself with other women who want to become artists and have the same passion and drive as you. And it doesn't have to be women, but women are great.
I think it's good to have
and every time someone tells you that you can't do it, go talk to that support group. Because if you hear that, especially if you have anxiety, if you hear that and then you stay alone, it's gonna eat at you. It's gonna keep happening. So your support group is gonna be your lifeline, because it's been my lifeline. Whenever I'm insecure about something, I'll reach out to you, I'll reach out to someone else in my support group, and they make me feel better.
Yeah.
And always, or rather never, compare yourself to anybody else other than yourself. You should only compare yourself to who you were yesterday, who you were last month, who you were last year, because that's the only actually accurate comparison that you could make. Because if you compare yourself to if I compared myself to some people in high school, some people I know who graduated with me have gotten married. Some people probably are pregnant. Some people have died, which is crazy.
Wow.
So I can't do that, because then I'm just gonna be like, oh, they have all these things, and then here I am doing this. Well, I'm doing great. I'm about to graduate early. I'm doing all these things with music. I have a pretty good life compared to how I was last year.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. That's good advice. I agree with the whole don't compare yourself to others. I kind of tend to do that sometimes with musicians.
we always do. I do
Yeah.
all the time, but I try to nip it in the bud.
Yeah, it's tough. I also sometimes have to realize that their lane is different from mine, and that there's plenty of room to make it. A lot of times I guess in like hip hop or just in music, there always seems to be that thing where people operate under the notion that there's not enough room at the top for people to like succeed. That it's like a cutthroat environment that there only can be one. Like there can only be one best person, and that sometimes you have to, stab people's backs to get there. And I think that's
It's very toxic. And I
yeah.
think it's super surprising when people say that, because sometimes I eat into that. I'm like, oh, that's so true. But then I snap myself out of it, because I'll use Beyonce, because everyone loves Beyonce. You see Beyonce on stage, there are hundreds and thousands of people who helped her get to where she is.
Right.
And they make bank. So you don't have to be that star person. And if you want to be that star person, yes, we see like maybe 10 or 20 like super amazing artists who are always on MTV and VH1 and all that stuff. I don't even know if people still watch VH1 actually. I just
know.
popped that out.
Yeah.
But then you like go to open mics and you see all these artists who have SoundClouds and iTunes, and they're making it as an artist. They're just not freaking Beyonce.
Yeah.
And so if you look at it as a cutthroat situation where you want to be the next Beyonce, yeah, it's going to be hard. It might be impossible. It's going to be really difficult. But if you just want to be an artist, that's so easy.
Yeah.
It's basically get your music out, be an artist.
Yeah. I think also too, with Asian American studies and open mics, it fostered a community vibe that, we all can make it. It's not a competition. I mean, I guess sometimes it can be if you're doing like shows.
I think it's
or
a healthy
television.
competition.
It's a healthy competition, but I don't know what line, where's the line drawn from healthy competition to unhealthy competition, in your opinion?
I think I'm still working on that.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
Me too.
Because one struggle that I've been dealing with recently is with music, where do I want to not throw away everything else but push this music thing as far as I can go and try to be the best of the best, try to be the next Beyonce or whatever? Or do I want to make music and be comfortable and happy wherever that takes me? And so I'm like, my question, I guess, my question to you and what you think about this is, what is success? Is success getting on the MTV Awards and becoming all that? Or is success just being happy? And I would say it's just being happy, but I also have a really big ego who would like to be on the MTV Awards.
Oh yeah. I think, in the hearts of hearts of artists, of course they want to meet the top.
Right.
It's always nice to aim that high. I think first you have to be happy with yourself and like happy with your music, because hypothetically, I guess you can get to that level, but you may have to sacrifice your artwork to get there.
And there are people out there who are miserable.
Yeah, I mean, if wealth and money and material possessions equal happiness, then why do we have so many celebrities who kill themselves? You know, so I think you have to be happy with your music. You have to be content. I think when you're happy with your music and you're really happy with yourself, that will show to other people. That will reflect the, like, oh, you're genuine, like you make genuine music. And from there, you can go, from there, you can, I don't know, make your way up to the top. But I think success is however you want to view it. I guess other people have different views. Some people see it as material possessions, as a physical, like a physical reminder that, hey, I made it. I can do this, this, and this. But some people may see it as, hey, I'm happy with my music, and it's taking me where it's going to take me. I think it's cool to have like a maybe middle, but I'm leaning more towards just success is like your happiness and you're happy with your music. Because if you're happy with your music, your fans are going to be happy and you'll get more fans, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it made me think of this, I think it was a Robin Williams quote, where it was in one of his movies, I don't remember, I saw it on like BuzzFeed or something, but we're not meant to understand life, we're meant to just live through it. So it's like, when I'm super philosophical and super big ego, all that stuff, like I want to understand life. I want to know everything. I want to help everyone. I want to do all of these things. Like crazy me wants to like fix climate change and like make the world a better place and all this stuff. But it's like I start to, and I know I'm only 21, but I start to be like, oh my God, like I'm not the it generation that everyone's looking at to like save the world. And
you have a lot of, time on your hands to definitely pursue the music career thing. I mean, you're 21 and you're graduating. I'm 29, I just graduated. I'm not comparing, but you have a lot of time. I mean, 21, you're not even like 24 yet, obviously. You're 21, so you have a lot of time to really find yourself as an artist. Because there is that whole thing with, as you get older, society expects more of you to kind of buckle down, to have a regular job, which there's nothing wrong with. And, all these milestones society has for you, like get a house, get a partner, have kids. I don't know. To me, it's just, I find it kind of difficult to fall into that because I don't want to have kids and I'm not really looking for a girlfriend. But I'm on Bumble, I don't know why. I guess like looking, shouts out Bumble, and Tinder, and bagels and milk. No, coffee and bagels. But it's just tough sometimes because society puts that pressure on you. And I think when you really fall for it, when you really cave into that pressure, it can affect your creative process. I forgot where we were going with that. But yeah, you definitely have a lot of time to really refine your sound and music. And I just think, I think right now is one of the best times to do music, as much as people say there's no money in it. Dude, you have social media. I guess down the line you may need a publicist or whatever, all that stuff, but you can market yourself. You have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. I guess one thing for me sometimes, it bums me out, I mentioned it before, is sometimes I gauge how successful I am in my music with how many likes and followers I have. And it eats at me like, damn, dude, I'm not doing that good, but I think sometimes I gotta take myself out of that mentality.
Yeah, I think that like a lot of people, including myself, I actually thought about this yesterday and then snapped out of it, where it's like, when you think about like in high school and everyone was trying to get as many Facebook friends as possible, it's like when you see those people with like 300 likes and then you only have like 50, it's just like, I'm not that liked. But it's just like, okay, you have like really good friends who care about you and support you. And I'm not saying the people with 300 likes don't, but you don't know. And that's another thing, to stop comparing yourself to other people. And as long as you're happy, because like with materialistic things, like we said, it can't make you happy. Like people around you and those connections and relationships will make you happy. And I think for me, with like starting all these projects that I'm thinking of, the hardest part right now for me is starting, because all of the anxiety of the unknown, like, oh, where is this gonna go? Should I already have the steps after this is gonna happen?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just need to do it, I just need to record it, and I just need to put it out and see what happens.
So what other future endeavors do you have?
So I don't actually know what it's gonna be about. It's probably gonna be about a whole bunch of things, but I'm going to start a YouTube channel.
Okay.
I know it's gonna have my music on it, of course.
Okay.
And then it's probably gonna be like a mix of a bunch of different vlogging situations. I would really like to document my last semester in college.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool, like a weekly thing every 2 weeks, like what happens. I want to document, like, if I go traveling or something, like I'll take my camera and like do a little vlog. My little sister actually like complained, I think we were downtown in Santa Barbara where I live, or where I used to live, and I had my camera and she was like, you should do a vlog. I was like, I haven't even started my YouTube channel, like I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
But I will do that. Once it is up and running, I will make more videos of that. I want to take a lot of pictures with friends and have guest people on my
Nice.
YouTube channel, like Vaughn.
Hey. Yeah.
But I don't really know what it's going to be. One thing I know for sure that it's going to be, as cheesy as it sounds, it's going to be real and raw and true. It's going to be very authentic and transparent.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Also, too, how did you get the name Jaemz? Because when I tried to read it, I couldn't pronounce it.
Okay, so I think it's like 3 different reasons why it's Jaemz. So one name that I really liked a lot was Jaemz's. And I got it from, I think it kind of like, I swear that this isn't the origin, but I think I'm just making this up. So Taylor Swift has like T Swizzle, and so then like when I like made a Venmo or whatever it was that I made, mine was J Swizzle, and then it became Jaemz's. And the reason why I picked Jaemz is because my friend Joe used to call me Jay, so that's where the J-A-E comes from. And then the M is my middle name. My middle name's Moore, and then Z is just like a cool S.
Okay.
And then also Jaemz is my dad's name. It's not spelled like that, but
Really?
My dad's name is Jaemz, and he's like my favorite person. Hi, Dad, if you ever listen to this. But yeah, that's pretty much why my stage name is my stage name.
Okay. I'm just pronouncing your name in my head. Okay, the middle name. That's kind of cool. So you do poetry, like you do. Are you do poets record their spoken poetry
Yeah.
on audio?
Yeah, and they do videos about it. I know some of my friends do videos for their spoken word and stuff. I don't know if I'll actually do that. That will probably be another outlet. Like, it won't be if I don't have like any videos planned. Of course, I'm gonna like, because maybe it'll be like vlog, music, spoken word, or something like that. But that might be something that I do, I guess.
Do you? Can you rate like poetry and singing? Like, which one's your
Singing's
favorite?
on the top.
Really?
Of course, singing's on the top.
You mentioned before, not in this conversation, that you were in a choir.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about
I was
choir
in
days?
choir in high school. I was in choir for, I feel like I'm going to be roasted if I'm wrong, I think 3.5 years. And then I was kind of sort of co-pres my senior year. I won't
Okay.
get into the details because
Okay.
it's really complicated.
That's cool.
But yeah, it was super fun, and that's kind of, it wasn't where I decided singing was gonna be what I wanted to do, because that happened in college. But I think that was when I realized I could sing in front of people. Because I would sing in front of people when I was younger, and then middle school happened and destroyed everything that I ever cared about. And then in high school, when I found the choir and I met the people that I met in that, a lot of the people that I met through that are still my best friends. Like I visit them when I go back home. It was my first sense of community and showed me that if I wanted to sing in front of people, I could.
Very cool. Did you ever go to any contests with your choir?
Yes, we went to oh God, I don't actually know the name of this competition, but it's a jazz festival in Reno, Nevada. My little sister went last year, which was so exciting. I didn't get to go, but I will go next time, Kimmy, I swear. But it's this really cool international, is it international? I think it's just national. I'm butchering this. It's been a couple of years. It's in Reno, Nevada, and college groups and high school groups, and I think middle school groups. I might be wrong. Maybe it's just high school. High school and college groups compete against each other. And it's a really great experience because for me and for the friends that I made in that, it's like, for the first 2 days, it's constantly like watching other people and getting what you can from them and practicing and getting ready for performance. The last day, we just fucked around and like had fun. I remember we played, what is it called? The slapping card game. You know what I'm talking
War?
about? No, it wasn't Egyptian Rat Screw, but with 2 decks and over 20 people. How
is that possible?
It was insane, but it was so fun, and it's just a really great bonding experience. Like I don't know if any high school students will listen to this, but if you do, and if you have the chance to join a club, do it, because you will meet your best friends there.
Very cool. Do you believe in vocal warm-ups before singing? Is that effective to you?
I should, but I don't. Like, Vaughn knows this, but for our class, I did like a vocal warm-up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We did I led vocal warm-ups in our last Asian American Studies class, and I'm such a hypocrite because I don't do them. I warm up by just singing my song. And I mean, it probably does super help because we did it all the time in choir, and I think that's the reason why I have the range that I do, because I practiced for 4 years, but I don't actually practice right before like open mics and stuff.
What ranges do you have for those? I mean, I don't know much about choir. Maybe people can get educated with music.
I'll say from what I used to be to now, because
Okay.
I think that'll be nice for everyone to hear, and it'll help my ego a little bit.
Okay.
So I would sing like soprano and mezzo, but now, and just so you know, so the lowest is bass, and then it goes baritone, tenor, oh my god, I'm gonna mess this up, tenor, alto, mezzo, soprano, descant, which is like whistle tones and shit. I can sing from tenor to soprano, sometimes
Okay.
descant, but I'm not happy when I have to sing descant. So tenor to soprano, I really want to delve more into alto tones, but yeah, that's my range.
Awesome. When I think of soprano, I think of Tony Soprano. Okay. Do you have a favorite boba place?
Of course, Bon Bon.
Yeah.
There is no other place that beats that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know about anybody else who likes other boba places, but Bon Bon, yeah, we like
Bon Bon is where it's at, okay?
Yeah. TNT, I don't know about TNT.
The only good thing about TNT is that you can play Smash.
Yeah. Do you play Smash?
Of course I do.
Okay, talk to us about that.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. I think it's cool because I don't know.
That's another thing
What?
with patriarchal
Yeah, I was
systems
gonna.
and stuff.
That's how I was gonna segue.
Oh my god.
We need to talk about it. Talk about it.
I can talk about this because I don't know who I was playing at TNT,
Yeah.
but being a girl sucks sometimes, and I
Yeah.
love being a girl. I remember I was with our friend Keegan. Hi Keegan, I miss
Keegan.
you.
Hey, what's up?
We were playing Smash, and then these guys just jumped in. They didn't even ask.
Yeah.
They just like picked up controllers, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Were you playing as well?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
playing. I main Kirby. I love Curbs. And they picked like stupid ass OP characters like Cloud and Shulk. And I'm sorry, I have a lot of feelings when it comes to people maining Cloud because he's super OP, but I won't get into that. And I'll stick with like sexism.
Yeah.
And so we were playing, and like I was like, because they didn't ask. I was like, oh, do you want to play? And he was like, yeah, like as if I should know. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat their asses. And so we
Yeah.
started playing and stuff, and they would win every now and then. And then one game, me and Keegan were just like out, we lost. And so they started to get happy. They were like, yeah, like it's just us or whatever. And I was like, okay, I am very competitive. This is gonna get really annoying. And so right before we left, I beat all of them.
Nice.
And I was so happy, and they were dead silence. And I was like, okay, Keegan, we can go. And
Nice.
I was just really happy. I love putting people in their place.
I agree. I like seeing people put other people in their place when that person is like the oppressed one and they like show them up, you know? Yeah, I would think that, you know, if I was a dude, they would be, hey, is it cool if we play?
No.
Instead of just fucking grabbing the controller. Yeah, what really, you know what grinds my gears? What really annoys me is like, you know, I see it online a lot where women claim, oh, I like this game or that game, and then some fucking dudes, oh, like, they really ask the most minute, like, the most, like, microscopic detail about, oh, what's so-and-so's secret so-and-so, and if they don't get, oh, you're not really a fan, you just want attention. You know, it really
I've had that happen
off.
to me so many times.
Really? What game?
I really don't want to delve into this. Okay. No, it's fine. I'll just mention it, and then we'll be done with it.
Okay.
But, I hate the show. I shouldn't be talking about it. Naruto. And then this one person was like, oh, you like it? And I was like, unfortunately, what are you gonna, like, please. Like, I never like talking about this show. Yeah. And he was like, oh, well then what happened in this arc with this character? And I was like shocked because I was like, I thought this was like a meme. I didn't know people actually were like this. And so I like answered and he was like, oh, so you really do like it? And I was like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like for a girl, you know your shit. But it's like, dude, if the person likes this stuff, you don't gotta quiz them and shit.
Yeah, both my sisters are gamers online, so
yeah.
I'm sure they get their fair share of all of this. But both of them can handle themselves very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we gotta guys, we gotta stop that shit. That shit's not cool. It's 2017. Get out your fucking mom's basements and live. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and chill in the hot pockets too. Sorry, I watched the South Park episode. Make love, not Warcraft. Funny. Any projects you have coming out or you're planning to release?
Well, I'm probably gonna record the first YouTube episode today.
Cool, awesome, fun.
It has to be edited, so it won't be up today. But hopefully that happens. In terms of singing, I'm probably gonna get my mic next week, so I will hopefully have covers out on like SoundCloud and stuff. Cool. That would be really fun. I don't know if they're gonna be a cappella or not. We'll see. And then I might be performing at, is it this week or next week? I think it's this Friday at THU's next open mic. I think that's the 18th.
18th?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 18th. I'm still not sure just because I don't have a set yet, but if I do, I will let y'all know. Okay. And then I totally forgot to say this with the whole advice thing, but I thought of one more thing. One thing that I've been living by for the past year, because I learned it in my internship class, is the rule of gravity. And people are going to be so annoyed if they listen to this and they're going to be like, she's talking about gravity again. Because I talk about it all the time.
I never heard you talk about gravity.
Cool. So basically, in my internship professor was like, so think about gravity like, it's happening around us. It's always happening. You can't do anything to stop it. It just is. Yeah. And so it would be really stupid for one of us to be like, oh my God, gravity's happening. How can I stop it? Blah, 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 because you can't do anything about it. So if you're struggling with something or something's stressing you out and you can't fix it in 5 seconds, drop it. Because if it's that big, it will come back and you'll deal with it when it needs to be dealt with. Or if it's insignificant, it's gonna go away. Okay. So, like, one example that I used is that I lost one of my assignments, but it was like, I could print it out again. She just preferred the one that was written on. And so I was like, oh my God, I lost it, blah, 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 blah. And I was like that for like 10 minutes, and then I was like, stop, just print it out. You can't find it, it's gone. Do the things that you actually physically can do. Yeah. Instead of sitting there. You could sit there for an hour and stress out, or you could do something for an hour. Yeah. So be productive, basically.
Well said. That's a very good lesson that I think I need to put into practice, and other people as well. Do you have a SoundCloud yet?
I don't.
Okay, it's
but it's probably going to be called Jaemz or Jaemz's. I'll send Vaughn the link, and you guys will get the connect, I guess. Cool.
Very cool. It was nice having you on the show.
It was very fun being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that said, that is all. I think that's it. You're gonna make a YouTube channel and all that stuff. I'll let everyone know. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yay. Fuck patriarchy.